We saw this post online and we decided to bring it here. It says, my husband has always been a gentleman to me since our dating days. We got married and the first few months was a bliss, but everything changed after 6 months of marriage. Today he raises his voice at me and talks to me in a degrading way. I never believed people change, but my husband just cleared the doubt. Is there something I must have done wrong or I'm doing wrong? Or is it just him changing and I need to adapt?
Okay, so I'll say this. They say people change, but the truth of the matter is people do not necessarily change. You see, human beings are like they're like a they're like a butterfly. You know when you see a caterpillar, you know it's going to become a butterfly. You know, it has the characteristics to become a butterfly. It knows it's going to become a butterfly. Don't become surprised when the caterpillar becomes a butterfly because you're expecting to become a butterfly. There are some traits that he had that she ignored when they were dating, and she thought it was bliss. It's possible the way he talked to. I'm sure one day they went to one restaurant and she saw the guy talk to one waiter in a very degrading manner, and she felt it was just the waiter.
And he loved her. So he was talking nice and
Yes, nice and kind. You know, you never marry now. You know
I
when
always say this every time.
marriage the cost finish.
One of the things you should look out for when you are dating somebody is how the person treats other people, not even you.
Not you.
Not you. In fact, he will treat you well. He wants you. He wants you to marry him, but he wants to do whatever he wants to do with you. So while he's chiking you, while he's dating you, he would try to be on his best behavior. The way to actually know who he is when you observe him
Around people, especially people who are
not in his level.
And also people who are always people who he's related to. You know, brothers, sisters, friends that he has been with for years, father, mother. If you want to know if your spouse, and I'm not saying just for guys and ladies too.
Of course.
If you want to know if your spouse, if your guy or your woman or if they are quarrelsome people, troublesome people, even cheats, let me even still put it like that, you know, because there's a difference between someone who just had sex with somebody and someone who's a chronic cheat who just does it. You know, somebody who's a cheat is not apprehensive about it. He's not remorseful about it. He's not ashamed about it. He has it's what they do.
He plans it, he
orchestrates it. So I'll have to put that in the same traits also as you didn't know, they already had the traits when they were singles. So for this one now, we're talking about someone's behavior to other people. To her, the behavior changed. I'm telling you, you saw it. You can't tell me you didn't see it.
A lot of times when I hear situations, in fact, when some people around me, close to me, when they complain that, this person is changing, this person is not the way he used to be. When I think back, I remember I say, but this person was like this to an extent, you know. I saw a post again recently. The person said that the way your partner is treating you now that you are dating is the best behavior the partner is ever going to give.
Exactly.
And I quite agree. You know,
yes,
it's not like
when you're dating.
It's not impossible for your partner to get better when you get married, but the chances of them getting better is slimmer than the chances of them getting worse.
Yes.
So if this person was giving you slaps before, one slap, while people were dating,
punches, kicks, and everything, every week,
it's going to turn to Anthony Joshua.
Exactly.
When you guys get married, big time.
So you can't say you didn't see it. Now, for you now saying this, is there something? She
can't say she didn't see it.
She didn't see it because because we're not
change.
Yeah, because you were not looking.
Sorry, you can't say he changed. He was
that person because you were not looking.
You're looking at other things.
You were not looking, you were looking exactly, you were just paying attention to the butterflies in your tummy. And that's why you were not paying attention to the way he treated the gate man. You're not paying attention to the way he treated that Bolt guy. You're not paying attention to the way he treated his best friend. You know, you've seen some guys will tell you you're dating a girl or you're dating a guy and your spouse, let's just put spouse because boys and girls they do the same thing. You see him or her not pick calls of their best friends. You see the phone ringing and just say, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to pick calls now. And you are watching. You are dating. You are watching. But your own call when you guys are dating, he picks or she picks immediately. I bet you when you get married, your calls will not be picked.
True.
Your calls will not be picked.
True.
Because automatically you've become so common to him the way his brothers and sisters, because you're not common
he can
yet.
easily lie. He's with you. Somebody calls him, he picks up.
You are
the phone.
watching the person
He's
live.
right there. You guys are on a date or something. He just says, "Oh, I'm in Lagos."
He's telling his friend he's in Lagos because he doesn't want stress.
Or you guys are home. He just says, "I'm not the house now."
I'm not in the house.
And he says it. There's some. I don't. Lies are not good, but then there are some lies that personally, I know, a lie is a lie, but there are some lies that I feel can be necessary. There are some lies that are absolutely unnecessary. And then there are some people that the way they lie, the thing is so easy, so fluent. Like they'll just be lying, thing will just be coming out.
But you are hearing him do that.
You'll be shocked. But you're hearing him do that. He just picks up the phone, just say, I know the house. So I just come out since morning. The traffic is you're bad.
And you're dating. You guys are dating. You guys are just boyfriend and girlfriend. You are watching him. It's not. But when it comes to you, when you are dating, he doesn't lie. He will tell you the truth. When you get married, when you get married, and so that's what it is. There are many traits you have to look out for as singles. But for now, this girl's already married. This woman's already married. You're married to this guy. What are you going to do? What's the solution? That's what we always do here. We try to prefer solutions the best way we can. All right. So now she's saying, the guy has changed. What is she supposed to do? The thing you are supposed to do now, I don't know.
You prefer solution.
I'm just joking, but this is the solution. This is actually the solution. This is my solution. Perlu will call her solution, but now let me just say my own solution. So you have a guy who right now talks to you in the most aggressive manner and all of that. The truth of the matter is, you have to become something that will coil that. And trust me, you now have to.
That's if you want the marriage.
If you want the marriage to work, you have to become something that will coil that. So if such a character to die, if such a character needed someone who was very quiet, you will have to increase your ability to be quiet ×2. That's because you will now start putting in the work. You will start putting in the work.
That work, like I always tell people, the work you didn't put in before you got married, before you said your yes. That work. You have
or you just break up, or you just become it all just becomes a huge issue. And now I tell people, when people show you who they are, believe them. I think I've heard that, when people tell you that this is who I am, just take them face value. Because I'll tell you why you believe people. Because it's not your job to change people. It's not your job to change people.
That's the Holy Spirit's job.
That's the Holy Spirit's job for us as Christians. But guess what? As human beings, you can't change people, but you can influence people. And just because you influence someone doesn't mean the person will change. Someone is acting under influence. Guess what happens? That's what they say. Once the influence goes away, the person returns back to what?
to normal.
To normal.
Back to square one.
That's why when you drink alcohol, if you are an alcoholic, you are an alcoholic. But you need an alcohol to influence you to become that, high. But when the alcohol wears out, guess what? You are back to the depressed person that you are. So you are just depressed.
Alcohol doesn't solve
the problem. So what you will be doing, you may be trying to influence him. And trust me, he won't change. Nobody change. People don't. I'm sorry, oh, but you don't have the ability to change anybody.
But I think that somebody can change, but over time, it's going to take a process.
Yes.
So I think it's possible
Yes.
to change, but definitely not overnight.
Okay.
So the fact that she talked about the fact that he's now aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
but we are saying that the signs were probably there. You know, she probably didn't look hard enough. Now, if you're going to change from this aggressive person to a non-aggressive person, while you're applying the formula that Philip has said,
Good. All
while
right.
you're
Good.
applying the formula that you have said, that she needs to pipe it down, you know, to manage the problem that he has. If she needs to become a calmer person or a
Mm.
quieter person, she tries to become that to a large
Mhm.
extent. Yes, it's possible he can change over time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, for me, I just believe people. Now, when it comes to aggression, I'm somebody. In fact, it's a no-no. I always advise people who, because we've seen a lot of cases where verbal abuse, physical abuse,
Abuse.
emotional abuse, majorly verbal and physical, because once it's verbal or emotional abuse, before you know what's happening, there's a physical abuse, and we don't know what happens. Next thing,
Anything can
anything
happen.
can happen. One person is dead. So I don't tolerate that. So I would always tell people at this point in time, you have to start protecting your life. It's either you separate for a while, before you come
You guys
back
can get the help you
and
need.
get the help you need. Because if you're saying talking down, I think degrading way, in a degrading way, I don't know whether he's already becoming very aggressive. I don't know whether he's becoming, you can say, you can talk in a degrading way, say you're already fat, or well, when someone's aggressive and is aggressive with his words, is shouting at you, just say shouting at her, raising your voice, and then threatening you, then I will just say separate. I that's what I'll say. I'll say go your separate ways for
Yeah.
now.
We're not saying they should divorce though.
No, I'm not saying you should divorce. Then both of you get help. Deliberately get help. So he needs to get that help to that will help take care of that particular problem that he has. But like I say, like I agree with you, it will take time. It will take time for him to change. But you yourself, as his wife, you have to also commit yourself to that change, understanding fully well that now it's now like you have someone on the theater and you're working on the person. So that's your husband now. So you have to now start working on him. That's
But
what
before they
marriage
even
is.
get to that separation part, I think let's assume it hasn't gotten that bad
I'm
yet.
just assuming if it's that bad.
Yes, let's assume it hasn't gotten that bad yet, and she's just noticing that he's changing from the soft guy he used to be towards her to the aggressive person.
Yes, okay.
How did they go about it from there? I think first thing to do is to draw his attention to it, to say, you are changing. Like I'm noticing things that I
We're
did not
not there
notice
before.
here.
I think that's the better way to put it.
I'm noticing things that were not there before. You know, even if you've done your deep thinking and you found out that this guy, it's like he was actually like this, but maybe because he loves you, let's hope that he still loves you. He can still listen to you and work on himself
to change.
Tell him that babe, you're becoming aggressive. You're not like this towards me. One, you should also, it's not an excuse, but you should also understand that maybe you can also even do better, you yourself, because people are not perfect. So you probably were a particular way to him at that time.
That's
so he
what made
was
him
soft to
quiet.
you.
Exactly.
Now you don't see the guy finish. So
And
maybe
now-
you are talking to him
exactly.
anyhow. You're no longer
Exactly.
as soft and feminine as you used to be.
And so now
He has
so it's possible
that
that
he used to show other people. He has
now
said he's not showing it
it's
to
possible that you were forming for him the way he was forming for you.
So everybody needs to, well, like we always say, marriage is work.
Yes.
Everybody needs to put in the work. You draw it at his attention, babe. I'm noticing so changes in you. Why? Let's assume he's a good man. He realizes and say, oh, okay. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Then you now draw a scenario and say, I see the way you spoke to me that day. If it was
Mhm.
those days when we're dating, this is how you talk to me. You know,
Mhm.
if he's a good man, oh, he'll
Mhm.
probably apologize and say, okay,
Mhm.
you know what, I'll do better.
Mhm.
Another way, sorry, baby,
Sure.
another way to help him or and help yourself is to also observe
Mhm.
how he handles people
That's what I wanted
and
to
then
say.
try to help him or correct him in
Yes.
in loving way while he's talking to somebody, he's talking to his driver, he's talking to anybody on the streets,
Mm.
anybody he's working with
Mhm.
that's in a way below him, that's in a way below him,
Mhm.
and he talks to the
I,
person aggressively. Ah, baby, no,
mhm.
that was not nice. I don't
Mhm.
think you should talk to people like that now.
Mhm.
It's not how would you, no, it's not if you guys are Christian, which is better for you.
Mhm.
It's not a good way to talk to people. You know, how would Jesus be there? Da, 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 da.
Mhm.
Say all of these things and draw it to his attention that he's being aggressive, you know. Over time, it has to, you know, get better.
You there was a story one time I heard of a guy that told his girlfriend they were dating, and he had his friends with him, like his clan guys, clan kingsmen, his kinsmen, they were around him, cousins and all of that, and in his house, but he was dating this girl, very beautiful girl, and so he told the girl to bring water and food for him. And when the girl brought food for him, I think he shouted at her again to go bring water
Mm.
for him to wash his hand.
Mm.
You know, he was very bossy that day, and he has never been bossy like that to her before. All of a sudden, because he was around his clan, his kinsmen, young cousins and all of that,
Probably was just high on the
he was
energy.
becoming that. So when the girl came to him to tell him after they had gone, the girl was sad, and she came to him and said, "Why were you raising your voice at me? You were very demeaning.
Impressive.
You're aggressive. Why were you talking like that?" The guy said he didn't even know. He's sorry. But he has seen his father and his uncles do that. And so all of a sudden, he just wanted to experience what that would be like. So
Around people,
around people. So you see,
be a boss.
it's possible that this particular guy that we're talking about now has they always tell you that environment is what, you know, creates a person. Now, if you want to change a person, which I understand is a very, very hard process to do, you have to take the person away from that environment. You have to take the person away from the environment first. And it's still not going to be easy because you now have to take the person away from the environment and then you burn out the environment from the person gradually. So it's possible again that this guy grew up with people who are very loud. And so everything they're doing is loud, 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 loud. They're always shouting. And so everybody, imagine you growing up for 20 years and the only way you can communicate is if your voice is the loudest. And then that's when people listen to you. And so he's loud, 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 loud. And then he now gets married to you. You, in a way, because naturally, if I'm shouting at you, babe, give me this, you want to shout back, Abby? And then at the end of the day, I shout at you. Now he's married to you, but you still brought the environment into his home. You don't know that you too, you are the one bringing the environment into his home because you're raising your voice at him when you're talking to him, probably. And then it will trigger something in him. You're raising your voice. He's raising his voice at you. Maybe he's the one who starts raising the voice first. And then you get angry and you raise your voice, forgetting that will act as a trigger for him because you are bringing him back into that environment. And then he raises his voice. And then he becomes who he was to his cousins, brothers, parents, and he becomes that to you because the environment is not different. So you have to change the environment. And one thing about changing the environment, maybe the way you approach him now, you have to deliberately approach him in the way you want him to approach you. So maybe soft voice. Maybe when he's raising his voice,
soft voice works, ladies.
It always works. when he's talking aggressively, you could just be quiet for a while. You don't need to say anything at that point in time. And I'm not saying, according to what they said here, they said he talks, you know, in a tone
Degrading his
degrading tone. Maybe when he's talking like that, maybe that's how he talks to his brothers. I'm going to find out. It's possible that's how he talks to his brothers. It's possible that's how his father talks to his mom. It's possible that's how his father talks to him. It's possible that's how they push their ideas to others. You know how you come out and say, somebody comes out and say, some families, they come out and they don't give themselves credit. The way they give themselves credit is to tease themselves. It's possible that's how it is. But if you don't want that to happen in your family, guess what? You have to now take him away from that environment. You can create an environment.
You have to approach him in
a different light,
manner.
in a different manner, because you're recreating an environment.
And give him time.
Myself and my wife, this is even for me. We created the kind of environment we wanted in our home. This environment we had is totally different from my environment. My home is totally different from what I grew up with. I deliberately decided. And so I made my wife understand where I was coming from and the things I'm working on. And then she helped me also work on the environment that I want. The same thing with my wife. You know, there's some things that she wanted, because this happens when you communicate with yourselves. You tell yourselves the truth. I see my wife and I see something that is a flaw in her. I tell her about it. And because she trusts my love, she would listen. She sees a flaw in me. She tells me about it. Because she trusts, I trust her love. I'll listen.
Our patience.
And then we're patient. We try to be patient with each other. So it's all about creating the right environment. Okay? When you want to help someone, again, take the person out of the environment.
So let me give this example. When we just got married, my husband used to do something. He used to pack dirt and then leave the packer inside the bin, or on top of the bin rather, and it was okay to him. I didn't like it because I wanted to just be able to throw dirt away without having to remove something from the top of the bin and all of that. So I will always tell him, babe, don't put the packer on top of the bin. You say, okay, no problem, no problem. But he'll do it again tomorrow. Why? Because that was what he knew. In fact, at the time, I didn't understand that was what he knew. It was always getting me upset until I went to his family house and I just observed somebody did it. Somebody else. He wasn't even in the room at the time. I was in the kitchen, and then somebody swept somewhere. And then when I just looked at the bin, after the person had swept, the person put the packer on top of the bin, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
You see it.
I felt bad. It was a moment of realization. It was a moment of, I don't know, should I say pity?
Exactly.
For how I've been, let's say, treating him or how I've been reacting towards him. Because
Thank you
this
so
is this is all he knows. Like, this is what he knows. This is what this guy has known for how many years, how many decades,
all of a sudden
and then all of a sudden you want to change it. So as all this story is to point is to say change will not happen overnight. So when you notice that this person is like this, you to try and do your observation that you did not do when you should have done when you guys were dating, and observe how he how he relates to other people. Okay, it's like this. That's if he's a good man. Again, if we are talking about good man, people,
he's not good.
Because some are not good. You know, he can be relating with everybody good outside, and then when he comes home with somebody else. But if he's a good man, and you observe that he's just aggressive in nature, or like my husband is saying, because of his environment, he's the way he is. So, after you do that observation, you now try to help him and help yourself in the long run. Since you don't want an aggressive partner, you learn the way to talk to him. You change the environment basically for him and give him time. Emphasis on time.
Absolutely. I think we've done that. It's enough for today. Thank you. All right, so let us hear what you have to say in the comments. If you guys have any solution to this issue, let us hear in the comment. And also, if you don't agree with what we've said, no problem. You can still
share your thoughts. Share your thoughts.
My name is Philip Asaya.
My name is Paul Asaya.
And you guys have a lovely, lovely time. Bye.
Cheers.